Hello, today we're taking a look at Fuzz Force Spook Squad. I've not played this game before, don't know anything about it, but we're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. This one doesn't have a downloadable version, so we're going to have to play it right in the browser here. I'm going to go ahead and drop that overlay, and we're going to look at the page here. I do want to say real quick, I do prefer having a downloadable version I could just run right in Windows. Tends to avoid any potential issues, but it's not too big of a deal. It's also, better for recording sometimes. I don't know if there's a full screen mode. Maybe there's a full screen mode in the web applet thing here. But let's read this description here. It says, grab your dice and let's hunt some ghosts. When you're done, I'd love if you could give feedback in this Google form for the Dottie/chip version. So I might click on that after I do this, but hopefully you'll accept this video instead. Become part of the Spook Squad, an elite team of ghost hunting animals who use dice-powered weapons. Explore a haunted tabletop world, finding new dice and discovering deck-building synergies on your mission to capture the ghoulish polterprints. In this demo, you'll be able to play through the training area and get to grips with the game, then take on the forest mission, explore the forest, power up, then take the stairs to fight the forest boss. And follow me on Twitter. I'm going to put a link to this page in the description of this video. It is currently September 18th, so we are on whatever version this is. Looks like we had some kind of an update 2 days ago, so we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and click on the run game here. We got analytics, gameanalytics.com. Be afraid against enemies. All right. I don't know. I don't know if I have an opinion on this. I mean, I doubt it's harmful in any way. Guess I'll click on opt-in. Let's see, Fuzz Force, Spook Squad, Force demo version. We've got some UI element and zooming around here. Interesting art style. We got some music. I don't know how loud is that? It's a bit loud, isn't it? I'll turn that right down the capture. Oh yeah, that's loud. Alright. Alright, hopefully that sounds... Oof, yeah, that's really loud. And hopefully that sounds reasonable in the recording here, but I would definitely suggest lowering the volume. Your music and other sounds is necessary. I would suggest, popping open some other games you might have installed, compare your volume levels to them. This is a really common problem I find in games that I playtest from indie devs, but I guess we're going to click on the training area. That's very, very loud. I think it might have actually been distorted a bit, music there. Alright, so not quite as loud here. So we've got training area. Now, let me see if I can... There doesn't appear to be like a full screen... Alright, so interestingly, escape key doesn't do anything. I don't know that there's any way to like get out of this. I would expect, a way to go back to the menu. Tried the Q key. I don't know what else to press. Anyways, I clicked on this and it flipped over and I moved here, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. This looks like a little ghosty. I guess I can go back. It doesn't look like I'm expending resources or anything to move around like this. I don't know what the dice roll is gonna do. Oh, that's my weapon, I guess. It zoomed in quite quickly, so it's a little bit disorienting. 1 2 2 3 3 4 0 1 2 2 3 4 1 1 2 2 2 3 4 4 3. There's a lot of numbers. Drag or swap dice and modules into any slot. Anything in your paw when you leave is lost. What are the dice and modules that I can drag to where? I can drag Wait. So this... Maybe the... Okay. Alright, so it's a little confusing because these appear to be colored, but the colors don't move when you move the dice. So apparently the color is just inherent to this whole slot thing here, and then whatever you put there takes on that color, so that's a little confusing. Especially when with like the 4 and the 4, because it just kind of looks like it's not working because they're both 4. But I eventually kind of figured that out, so I guess, I mean, oh, you can't drag these. So that changes the numbers. I don't know how these numbers apply to things in the game. I don't know what these buttons do. I guess that's to quit out of what I'm doing right now. I guess this is another part of the weapon. So I definitely like the idea of having stuff that you can like plug in, like modules and things that you can plug into the weapon to customize them and that kind of thing. I think that's something that feels really good. Visually, I don't think this is really doing it justice. I don't mean like the art style or assets or anything, but just kind of the way that this is being displayed. It's a little tricky to do this kind of thing, but it's almost like it's so zoomed in that you don't really get the perspective of what you're working on in the weapon or whatever. You can tell, but it's not really quite not quite doing it for me, I guess. I mean, if you were to show this to somebody, like a screenshot of this or whatever, they would have no idea what they were looking at, you know? So I think there's a better way you can display this, even if, you know, maybe you have to zoom out a little bit more or something. The UI is a little confusing to navigate. Like, maybe this goes back, but then what does this do? Does this not go back? What does this one do? I don't know. Alright, so it did go back to the menu. I don't know why, but that's not omnipresent, so I don't know why that only shows up when I'm customizing the thing here. It's really weird. Also, this icon doesn't really suggest to me that I'm gonna customize a gun. It's just like a dice. So like, I think if I'm gonna click on that, it's gonna roll a dice or something, but instead it goes into this whole big customization thing. So yeah, I'm quite perplexed as to why this big back to menu button like only appears here. But I guess this goes back, right? So I don't think there's anything more I can do with that. I guess we're just gonna have to experiment until we figure more things out. Okay, the numbers on your equipped dice are shown to the right. When using attack shield charge, the equipped dice will appear in a silver frame. This is the framed dice. Okay, there's a lot of numbers on the screen right now. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Shown to the right. Attack +1, shield +2, charge +4. The equipped dice will appear in a silver frame. This is the framed dice. Rolling the number selected above with the framed dice will give you a second turn before the enemy's turn. You mean this one? I don't know what all these numbers have to do with this stuff. Alright, so I think what would help is to put some of these notes a little bit more into context. For example, I don't know what the silver frame is because I don't see it on the screen, that sort of thing. I know it's a little trickier to pull this off, but it makes a big difference if you can tell people things like right in the context of when it's being used in the gameplay. So for example, this, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of telling me beforehand, so I should remember this, and then when I go into the game I'll know, in theory. But that's it's actually really hard to do. a lot of the time. Especially, you know, the more complex or the more things that you give the player to remember or whatever, it's unlikely that, or they might not even like know what this means before they actually see the game, you know. So without putting things right into context where the player can immediately see what the description is referring to, you can run into some trouble. Now this thing is still here. Why? So this is more instructions. It's really weird to have a question mark button like progress the instructions here. Roll the selected number on the framed dice and you'll get a second turn. Your most common number is highlighted already, or choose your own. Okay, I don't know what that means. So we have the selected number. I don't know what that means. Framed dice. I presume I'm going to see soon, but I don't know what that means, I guess. And then we have the most common number, which is supposedly highlighted. So what is, I don't know what that means. Which one is highlighted? I mean, we've got selected number, most common number, frame dice. These icons are down here. I don't know what these are. So there's a lot of stuff that's just not in context here. I think this went back to where I was before. So pretty confusing. Let's go ahead and click on that. Oh, now we've got even more. Oof, yeah, so as confusing as all that was, I didn't even get to like go into the game to try and figure out what any of that meant yet, because now I have to read more instructions. So again, it's not really giving me information in a way that's properly digestible to learn the game. I'm not really, you know, my memory's not particularly good in the first place, but, you know, even for general people who might fare a bit better than I do in that regard, that's not really a good way to deliver information on the whole. But let's give it a shot anyways. Battle basics, the dice. Selecting an action makes dice appear. The dice assigned to that action is in your inventory. Oh wait, the dice assigned to that action in your inventory is the framed dice. The dice on the right is the passive dice. Alright, now we have another dice that we have to know without seeing. Okay, maybe it's this. Maybe this is the framed dice and this is the passive dice then. Again, not really context. Like I can kind of make some inferences here, but it's not really providing me the necessary context, I would say. It has the same number on all sides based on your character stats. Okay. Alright, so it introduces the passive dice, but I don't know what that is. The frame dice is, for whatever reason, assigned to this action. Okay, a red dice lowers the enemy's health. Framed red dice use battery. I don't know what that means. So the first one seems sensible because if you're going to attack, you're going to lower the enemy's health, but then it says use battery. Maybe it's like the cost associated with the attack or something. The special bar fills by the values on rolled frame dice. Using it resets the bar to 0. This is not it's not the best 0 in the font here, but that's alright, I guess. So again, you're giving us a lot of information, no context. I don't know where the special bar is. I've never seen it before. And it's a lot to remember. Shield blue dice block enemy damage. Shield decreases each turn. Framed blue dice use battery. It's the same as this one. Charge green dice. Refill your battery. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I got a little confused. I was originally thinking maybe it was the the second one that's apparently the passive dice that the second line was referring to about the used battery, but it says framed red dice use battery, so that's the first one. I guess the passive dice is the one that has the same number on all sides. And then the dice assigned to that action in your inventory is the framed dice, so maybe you can choose one or the other, and then this one, if you choose this one, it uses the battery, but if you choose this one, it doesn't, and I guess they have different numbers. So I'm assuming this one might have a random number, and then this one just has all the same numbers, so that the chance is taken out of it, something to that effect. That's the best I can figure out about this already. Special bar fills by the values on rolled frame dice. So you have to use the frame dice to fill the special bar. And then you can use it to reset the bar to 0, but we don't know how to use it yet. Alright, more stuff. Enemy dice. The enemy's first dice decides their action. If required, they'll roll their numbered dice. Attack, shield, skill. I don't know what skill is. First I've heard of that. Enemy health and shield bar. Reduce it to 0 to win and earn 1 ghost jar. I might suggest just like choose a different font altogether for the numbers, because these are really not doing it for me. I mean, they're just not very clear what they even are here. Enemy health and shield bar. So we're introducing the idea of ghost jar. I've never heard of that before. It's just kind of tossed in here nonchalantly, I guess. Modules. Hover over a module icon to see its effect. The top module is a character's animal power. I've never heard of that before, so that's another thing I don't know what that is. Battery. If a battery is lower than red and blue frame dice numbers, they'll be decreased. Wait, what? Oh, so I think this is trying to tell me that it's kind of a backwards way to introduce the battery to me, I think, but I believe it's trying to say if you don't have enough battery, then it just kind of cuts the number you roll down lower, so it like fits the amount of battery juice you have left. It's kind of weird, like that might be an important bit of information, but it seems like it would be kind of secondary information, like you might describe the battery as something else and then add this bit afterwards. Either way, it's also like one more detail amongst a lot that's being thrown at me right now, again without any real context here. So I think I'm absorbing a reasonable amount of it, but we'll see how it goes. Your health and shield bar, be careful about losing health. It's difficult to get back. Okay. Wow, what is this? I guess I have to select one of these and then maybe it'll show the dice afterwards. It's kind of too bad that everything's being covered up by these. Like I can see animations going in the background, but I've never even seen these, I guess, these characters once yet. Like I've only seen just like these screen filling menus at this point, so it feels weird. I just haven't even seen the kind of the visual I don't know, the decorative elements yet. Like they haven't been introduced to me or anything, and I'm already kind of in the gameplay here. I guess I can't click on this yet because it's not full. It says big shot. I can only infer what that does. Here's our battery. Training Fox Power. This is how you see a module's effect. So I guess it's just related to the training thing. I believe it said this one was my HP. I don't know why I'm on the right. It seems kind of strange. I think it's more intuitive, at least to me, to be on the left with the enemy on the right. I don't know if that's different in other cultures, that, you know, maybe they read right to left or something, but that's seems like that would be much more common. But also there's, I don't know, I guess you'd get used to that. It's kind of weird to me that these are placed so symmetrically. Like, it's, besides the fact that I read it in the instructions and stuff, it doesn't seem obvious that one of these belongs to me and one of them belongs to the enemy, really. I can kind of see this little frame thing here, which might be trying to describe that, but it's maybe not that obvious to me. Anyways, I think it's more typical for these kinds of games to separate these more, rather than mushing them right up next to each other, like really symmetrically, like this. You know, you might have like one down here that would be yours, and then one up here that would be the enemy, something like that. But it's just really small details. Again, I don't know exactly what these numbers are. Oh, okay, so yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, there are 6 of them. So yeah, I'm guessing these are the numbers on the dice. It's really a weird way to present these, but it's also not. I guess there's not an obvious better way to do it, I guess. It's just kind of weird to just throw a giant list of numbers at someone like this, but I can see what the idea is here. So these are the numbers on the die that I'm rolling. Interesting. Okay, anyways, attack +1, +2, +4. I don't know what the plus things are. And I also, like, I don't know which one to do. Like, I don't have any sense of one being better than the other to start with here. I guess we already have a full battery, so we don't need this. But should I start with this or this? I just have no information to go on here to decide one option over the other, and that's kind of a big problem when you're playing a game, because you need to, in order for it to function as a game, you have to have some kind of idea of what is going to be better than another thing for you to play the game in a more successful way. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and click on attack. We've got these dice are rolling. Very kind of silly the way that they're just kind of tumbling here. I guess the camera kind of moved a bit, I think. I didn't really see it properly before, so I didn't really see the camera transitioning and stuff, but it looks like I'm kind of facing this bad guy more now. So I guess we want to go for this thing. Looks like we got a 3. Do we just always get this? Interesting. Okay. So, okay, so I guess the enemy rolls a dice to determine what they are going to do, which is interesting. It's quite asymmetrical because I get to choose, and apparently for the enemy it's just purely random. I guess that makes AI easier when they don't have to make intelligent choices. I'm supposed to be careful about losing HP, so I don't. Again, I don't know, like, which one of these would be more reasonable. One prevents damage, one does damage. By doing damage, you can also prevent damage because the enemy dies quicker, so it's not really obvious where the benefit is for one over the other. The numbers are different, clearly. But yeah, so this is interesting. So I didn't realize, of course, until I tried it out, that you apparently get both of these, but it's an interesting concept nonetheless. I'm going to assume that the timing that you click on this isn't going to affect anything. Somehow the 2 was lucky. Why, how or why is that lucky? So it's not going to kill him. I don't know why I said lucky. What does the lucky do? I guess the enemy didn't attack. Was that what the lucky does? This is just automatically going to... Alright, so it's nice that you don't have to wait to click on the other dice. Oh, what, you catch it in a bottle? Interesting, okay. Poison or ghost jar. Alright, a lot of stuff on the screen here. Battle chips, extra 3 damage attack, shield, extra 3, charge, extra 3, stun, miss a turd, dodge, avoid all attacks. Status effects, what is all of this? Battle chips, crush, vital, danger, power. So, poison 3, is that on this list somewhere? Status effects, right here, okay. Enemy takes damage equal to the poison duration, ignores shield. Interesting. So yeah, it's a little weird how clicking on this, instead of telling me what this does, it gives me like this giant list of like all the different things that I have to look for the particular one. It's like giving me a reference book to look it up, you know? It's kind of unusual choice. Might be nice if that just told me what the poison 3 does. I also don't know what the 3 does. I assume a bigger number is better or whatever. I also don't know what the ghost jar is, so I don't know like how to compare these items. Because there's no description here. Current chips, no chip, no chip, no chip. Also, this is presented as something completely different from this. I'm just gonna assume it is. Right, okay, so the shape of this, you can see, kind of fits this frame, so this is one of these things. And this apparently has nothing to do with chips whatsoever, but again, it'd be nice to have some kind of description what that is. Let's go ahead and grab the poison, I guess. It is nice that it brought me to this page automatically. Now, why would I put poison on charge or shield? What does that do? Poison shield? Does that shield against poison? How do you... I don't know what this would do. Collision's a little bit too particular, I would say, especially since, like, I'm actually over the slot with my mouse. But there's like this little square that I have to get the mouse within, so I don't see any reason for the, you know, in this screen of all screens, for the collision to be that particular about where you drop it. But yeah, this is confusing. I mean, it appears to make the most sense on here, but I'm just like really curious what actually happens when I use it on one of these, and is there some other kind of benefit that I might want this on here for? I don't know. Also, I'm not sure about this, like the idea that if... I'm assuming it means... Oh, that's a paw. Okay. I never figured that out. Okay. Like, I had no idea that this was representing something that you could just drop something on over here. Alright, so that makes sense now. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I want to try this or something, but it doesn't really make any sense. You know, at least to me. I don't know, let's keep doing whatever we're doing here. Your phone rings, it's the captain. Congratulations on your first battle. Do you understand what the frame dice and the passive dice are and what they mean? Okay, so this is interesting to kind of give me an opportunity to... I'm actually going to click on this again to see what happens here. The frame dice is the dice you've slotted into your inventory and are now using in battle. The passive dice is based on your character's stats. You have charge +4, so every time you charge, your passive dice will have 4 on all sides. It's a way of mitigating rolling low numbers on the frame dice. You see, the captain hangs up. Alright, so I feel like this is actually a better description than anything I've gotten so far. So while on the one hand, I think it's an interesting thought that you have this kind of system where you can like double check with the player to make sure that they understand from the first time. It seems weird to me that the best version of the description would show up in this format rather than this kind of being presented in the first place. You know, that kind of thing. So there's definitely a lot of stuff that could be done a lot better in terms of teaching here, but we're getting the idea anyways. I guess we're still going. I don't really understand why we're flipping tiles in the map here. I don't understand the purpose of that. I guess it's to suggest that we don't know what's in that tile until we go into it. I guess that would be another thing that would be nice to explain to the player. Oh, okay, so I can... Alright, we got another dice, 114466. So that's a lot bigger than some of these other ones. Nice. So it seems we don't have like any inventory, I guess. We can only carry what's equipped currently. That's interesting. All right. All right, so something I'm noticing, I'm gonna ignore what's on the screen right now. When you click on the magnifying glass, it kind of zooms out, and it sort of acts like a camera change button. Like you still interact with the world the same by if you click on the next space or whatever, it still goes to the next space. So clicking the magnifying glass seems to only move the camera to kind of give you a different view of the battlefield, but it always goes back. So it seems a little weird that it would always zoom back in again after you do another action, because it kind of seems intuitively like if you know, if it doesn't change the gameplay the way you interact with the tiles or anything while it's zoomed out, why not just leave it zoomed out like that, and then you could go back and click on the magnifying glass again if you want to zoom back in, that kind of thing. The captain rings you again. Have you noticed when winning a fight you get to choose between a battle chip or an additional ghost jar? Ghost jars can be used as money around here if you didn't know. Anyway, do you want to know more about battle chips? Okay, well that's certainly useful to know. It's kind of random to find like another way to throw this important information at me. So I'm also noticing that there's just like a lot of different ways that like random important concepts are kind of being thrown at me. And none of them are really in context, as I mentioned already. So it's just, it's a little strange that not only are they not in context, but just the fact that there's so many different avenues that they're kind of being tossed onto my screen here. Yes, I want to know more. Its bonus effects on your dice. If the battle chip is called Poison Chip 3, it adds poison symbols to 3 faces. Oh, that's very important to know. Okay. So yeah, this was like an optional, but I never... I guess I would have maybe figured that out eventually. But that seems really important to know. Even though I could have skipped over this bit of text here very easily. If faces with the bonus symbols are rolled, the bonus will trigger. Combining battle chips and module abilities are the perfect way to power up. Alright, the picture shows putting the poison into the shield thing. Alright, so this is a module? Gain 3 HP at the start of battle, sure. Alright, these transitions are also pretty darn slow. I mean, I get what you're wanting to do visually, but when you get into UI stuff, once you start having kind of sluggish transitions like this, it's not going to take long for the player to kind of get into the game enough that they kind of just know what they want to do in the menu, or whatever the UI that they're working in, and they just want to get it done. They don't really care to watch this transition like over and over every single time that they go into this throughout their playing of the game, you know. Like after the first several times they see it, they're just not going to want to, there's not any purpose for them to have to sit through watching that again. So I would consider making that nice and zippy. Another ghosty guy. The lucky, okay, so roll the selected number on the framed dice and you'll get a second turn. So I guess they mean if you roll this number on the framed dice, you get a second turn. Originally, when I saw this, I thought it was starting to tell me how to play. But this is like auxiliary information. So the first time it started telling me how to play after it showed me this screen, which was quite confusing because it's completely out of order in terms of how the information should be prioritized here. Your most common number is highlighted already, or choose your own. Wait. Oh. 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 Okay, so I didn't even know I could interact with this. Okay. So apparently your most common number, meaning the number that you have on most of your dice. So that's nice. Okay. This is starting to make sense. And yeah, so in general, in terms of all of the information that you have to kind of get across to the player and the best ways to go about that, I kind of mentioned over and over the idea of putting things into context rather than just kind of throwing text at the player when they're not actually about to use it, and just hoping that they remember what they read. That's really, really important, but another concept that you would benefit from, I think, to try to incorporate is the idea of just not overloading the player with so much information all at once. So it really helps a lot to kind of take things one step at a time and start with the most fundamental details, teach the player those things, and then kind of move on a bit, and then like introduce a new thing, and then make sure the player understands that, and then they move on, and then they introduce a new thing. So you do it kind of piecemeal instead of like trying to tell the player everything mostly all at once. So maybe there's a little bit of that in the way that the captain kind of randomly calls you between turns or something, and he starts telling you some things, but overall it doesn't really feel like the information has been structured out in a particularly good way. So it definitely, hopefully you can tell by the way I've tried to vocalize my thoughts, that it definitely seemed like there's just a lot of things being thrown at me all at once, and stuff that I was kind of expected to remember and stuff that I didn't really understand, and like talking about things that I'd never seen or been introduced to before and stuff like that. So that's all stuff I think would be worth considering. I guess this is going to pop up every time I go into battle, which is interesting. So the fact that you can choose a lucky number, apparently it highlights your most common number to start with. And then you can elect to choose a different number. Now it seems like, as far as I know with the mechanics I've been introduced to so far, there isn't really like a practical reason to ever change this, because it's always choosing the one that's the best for you. So unless you have like some superstitious, idea about a different number or something, which, maybe that's interesting to someone, but unless you have that, I don't see a reason to change this so far. So if that's all correct as I've understood it, then it makes me think that this entire screen is maybe completely unnecessary, and just, waving this in front of the player in between or before every single encounter that they play might become kind of annoying because they're always just going over here and clicking this no matter what is showing up on the screen here. It's just kind of adding junk into the experience, I think. So I would, kind of wonder about that. I don't know if any of the factors involved in this are going to evolve later at some point in the game, or if it's just always going to be kind of what I see here now. I don't feel like I need to review these numbers beforehand on the right here, so to me this feels like it's unnecessary. Also kind of weird how this shows a module here and the module that I equipped, but in the actual gun it only has one slot filled, so it's kind of like showing that I have two modules even though I only have one. A little weird. Another thing I mentioned real quick, I forgot to do this on the last screen, but when it highlights your lucky number, the one that's most common, if you change the highlight, if you click on one of the other numbers to change the highlighted, to change what the lucky number is, you might just forget what the one that was originally highlighted was. So if, for example, you want to switch it back to the one that's most common, supposedly the best option, but you don't remember which one it was, maybe you did some kind of an accident, you didn't look before you changed it or something, who knows. The player might not be able to figure that out, so it would probably be worthwhile to put some other kind of indication on that screen. Assuming you don't just canon entirely, because I kind of suggested that also, but it would be worth putting some other kind of indication on the screen which one was the most common, so that you could select that if you wanted to. So again, like attack, shield, I guess I'll try shield because I haven't done it yet. Oh, and I got this new bigger dice. I guess that makes a difference, because if I know that there's bigger dice on this, and I got like a massive shield apparently. If I know there's bigger dice on this, then I can know that it's better to choose it, but which one is inherently better? Shield, attack? I assume the shield number and the attack number of the enemy are just kind of mathematically additive. Like if I have 6 shield and the enemy attacks 3, then I assume I'm gonna have 3 left. Looks like I have 2 left. How does that work? I think this is showing my shield. It says I have 2. Now last turn I rolled a 6 and then a 2, I believe. The shield, so that's 8, I guess. And then I think the enemy attacked for 2. And now I have 2 shield. Like I don't know what's going on here exactly. Interesting, I guess. Oh, I'm out of charge. So that doesn't recharge between... Oh, Was the shield limited by the amount of charge I had left? I don't know. I never saw anything visually indicating kind of what happened or what I ultimately ended up with for the shield total here. So I don't know what happened there, but this is empty. It didn't refill between battles, so I guess we have to do charge. We have some poison effects. Again, I'm assuming that it doesn't matter when you click on this. I hope that's true, because that would be... I don't know if I'd care for that mechanic personally if that was the case, but it looks like we have 6 charge now. So... Shield plus 2. I still don't know what the +1, +2, +4 is. I also don't know, like my shield disappeared for some reason, but he got shield. So what did he do? Did he did he attack and get shield? I thought he only did one action though. I don't really know exactly what happened here. Looks like the special thing is here. I can try that. Oh, there's a dice here. The visuals are kind of distracting me, so I didn't really notice the dice at first. Big 8. Oh, 8 and 5. Where did the 5 come from? It's attacked for 2. Alright, we got Burn 3 or a Ghost Jar. So let's check out what Burn does. Enemy takes 2 more damage when hurt without a shield. Interesting. Okay, so that I guess puts some I don't know, validity to the idea of having shield and attack options, because again, I don't really know which one is better. You know, like how to make that kind of decision. Okay. Oh, okay. So, might be nice if in the last screen it shows you like your chips on the last screen, and then it shows the one that you're choosing. It might be nice if you could just like drag it into the slot in that screen rather than, you know, going through this whole transition here. Be a lot quicker, I think. It just seems a bit redundant. Burn shield. What is a poison charge going to do? I don't know. Wait, the burn. Okay, now see, now I want to know what the burn does again, but there's nothing for me to reference to read all of those effects and stuff. So I can't check what either of these do. The only place I know how to get there to that reference material is to beat a battle and then look at, you know, at the end of the battle to click on that one button that's in that end of battle screen. It seems like a really weird place to exclusively keep very important information like that. Very strange. But yeah, I'm just really curious like how these chips interact with the shield, and particularly the charge, because I can kind of, you know, guess that maybe the shield might have like a shield against some elemental effect or something. Like that sort of makes some kind of intuitive sense, I guess. I'm not even sure that that's true, but I have no idea what the charge does. So really confused about how these things interact here. So there's a chest here apparently. Just gonna check real quick how long I've been recording. Alright. Training module 2, any action gain a 1 to 3 charge dice. It's pretty beefy. What is that? Just visual flare? And some of these animations are a little slow, maybe. It's not that bad, but maybe just the walking animation. I'd probably speed that up quite a bit, just to make the pacing of the whole game a little bit quicker. Since these are kind of not important animations, you know. I mean, it's nice to have a little bit of juice here and there, but you don't want it to be too sluggish. I guess we want to replace one of the. I'll just do the attack one. I don't know. Oh, this one is technically better than this one, right? What does this do? Alright, I used the potion. Okay, I don't know if that was worth using because I don't think I had 10 health to gain, but I didn't know what the button did, so... interesting how I can't really see when I'm up here. Like, I can't see in the downwards direction, which is kind of a consequence of this camera angle. I guess I can kind of see what I need to, but it's still not really on the screen properly, so maybe some adjustments to the camera would make a lot of sense, because if in the default view you can't really even see the full square that you're going to click on without like having to go over here and click on this, seems like maybe it's not quite where it should be, so maybe it would be worth zooming that out a bit. This is playing in the browser, so it's kind of a smaller screen on my screen, obviously, as it is in the video you're watching. But if this was full screen, it would probably also look like a bit much like a, you know, it would feel more zoomed in because it's obviously taking more of the screen, so there's probably a lot of room to, if this was made into kind of a proper full screen application, which it probably should be, probably just feel better altogether to have this a little more zoomed out. Captain, again, an event could have the option to roll a dice for a great reward. The option displays which dice and numbers you need to roll and a % chance of success. Your dice values are shown above this book. Give it a try. What, up here? Wait, what? The option displays which dice and numbers you need to roll and a % chance of success. Okay, so if I click on shield, I need to roll a 1 or a 2, which is 34%. And if I click on this, I need 2 or 3, which is 34%. This is ridiculous. I don't know what this right here is. I guess it's trying to show me, like, it's trying to give me some kind of context as to what he's talking about visually, even though it's kind of already on my screen. It just makes it more confusing, I think. Anyways, it doesn't matter which one of these I choose. Here's my little dice. Didn't work. Don't worry about it this time. In a real mission, the rewards could be worth the risk. There could be serious consequences of failing a dice skill check, even worse than walking away by choosing the bottom option. Alright, anyways. I guess we're gonna battle another ghost guy. Alright. So this screen again. Any action, gain a 1 to 3 charge dice. That's nice. I mean, this is training mode stuff, so it's OP probably, but... Okay, well, I guess this is the most... Oh, so... I guess if I have the beefiest dice on this one that doesn't even have a chip, that's probably not the best... That's probably not ideal, because I probably want to stack the beefy stuff onto one option, so I can click on that. We only have 5 charge. I guess we need more charge. I don't actually know how the shields work based on... Oh, I forgot I was going to get free charge from this. Maybe I should have just stuck with that. Oops. And I guess maybe the order that you click on these... Oh, nope, I guess that doesn't matter because you don't get to choose the order. Alright, we're super juiced up now. He's getting shields. So he's got 4 shield, which I guess... I'm gonna go for shields 2 because I get free charge, but I don't... Alright, so that's gonna use up the charge before I can use the charge dice anyways. So I have 6. Okay, there's really briefly, I think there was a little pop-up that showed his shield dropping down by a certain amount. But it was like so brief, it was like I I barely could even notice it, and it just wasn't very clear what was happening, so I think some of this visual feedback could be improved upon. But I guess the shields also passively drop over time. I guess he attacked my shield at some point. I wasn't paying that well attention, so again, some of this feedback isn't as good as it should be, I think. I don't know, just click on attack, try this. Well, he's still got shield, so I guess the burn isn't going to come into play, so maybe I can just do more shielding. Just hope that he runs out, I guess. Oh, there's my lucky thing. What does the lucky do again? I don't remember. Oh, I only got 4 shield. So I guess it just, or it gives you another turn, I think is what it's supposed to be. It feels like it skips the enemy, but I guess it gives you another turn. Wait, what is this? The 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where that skill thing with the 1, 2, 3, 4 shows up here, but it seems like I can just spam shield like a lot. Especially since I have this gimmick that gives me charge back. I guess I'm still gonna need to use the charge, but -2. -2. Okay, so I think it might actually be interesting if you could choose the order that you throw the dice, because it might be nice, given that I have this bonus dice for charge, it might be nice if I could choose whether to use it after or before the next action. Just adds like a little layer. I mean, obviously there's an advantage you could eke out of that to, you know, choose it one way or the other. It just seems like a reasonable thing to put in the game, I think. Guess I have to use this. I'm just gonna hope that he doesn't get more shields so I can get the burning effect. It's gonna attack me for 4. Alright, so that did go down by that amount, and I guess they just drop by 2 points every turn? Consistently, I guess? I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and... Alright, we didn't get any burn damage. I don't know, it did mention before about trying to avoid taking damage altogether. So I wonder if always trying to have a shield up is meant to be advantageous. And just kind of like looking for the opportunity where you ended up with plenty of shields and then the enemy is kind of vulnerable and you can hit the attack instead. So you can kind of avoid this HP going down at all. I don't know if that's kind of the idea here. It seems like a really, like, kind of like a turtle style way to play a game like this. So if that's kind of intended, it almost seems like maybe that's not only kind of counterintuitive, but maybe for some people it doesn't appeal to them as much to like constantly be slapping, you know, the defensive option over and over and over again rather than just getting it over with by attacking until the enemy is dead. That would, you know, make the battles go a lot faster. So that'd be something to think about. Like if you want things to kind of be forced one way or the other, because it's more optimal to keep spamming shield. Alright, we got the lucky, so I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and charge. I got the poison charge. Okay. So that poisons the enemy. Hmm. Interesting. It's not what I expected. So apparently, I guess it doesn't matter what thing you put these on, they have the same effect, regardless of which action triggers it. I like this pop-up tooltip thing, that's nice. Kind of hurting for some of this information, so it's it's good to see it in a good place like that. Wait, wasn't this glowing a moment ago? And I clicked on it and it turned grayscale? I'm confused. Oh, maybe I bugged it. I think I might have bugged this by left-clicking on it. Now this... Oh. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this is like... Maybe we're like reusing some code here. So you get this kind of funny behavior. If I click on that, then it kind of stays up until I click on this, and then it goes away again. So it doesn't quite seem right there. Alright, we got full charge, I guess. Go ahead and do some more damage. He's taking poison damage. Ow. So hit my shield. I think I could probably kill him. Yeah. We're getting some overkill. Alright. Oh, yeah. See, it seems really intuitive to just drag the thing down to the slot there. But it has to open up in this page. Area cleared. Okay, I got some bottles. So I guess there's a staircase. In theory, I can not go back down here. Okay, so I guess I didn't notice this until now, but I guess these clumps of trees are places you can't move across. I don't find them very visually distinguished from the ones that you can move across that also have some trees on them. I can kind of see now what you were going for, though. Looks like I can go down to this one. Yeah, it doesn't really... The visual doesn't really work for me. It just looks too much like everything else. Like, I think if you showed this picture to someone and asked them where the walls were that you couldn't walk over, they'd be like, what are you talking about? There's not any... Like, there's just nothing visually to suggest that this is something you can't walk over, whereas, you know, this is, and this one is, and this one is. Having figured it out now, you can kind of see it, but you have to really look for it. So again, yeah, making that walk animation faster would really help out here, especially if you want to move a lot, because it's quite slow. Alright, I guess that's the end of the, the tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and go to begin mission, but probably not going to play this for much longer, even though I haven't really, well, I haven't at all gotten past the tutorial into the actual game. And so Dottie gets starting dice and stats. What are the stats? I've never really seen those before. Are they just these two numbers? Big shot, doodle dash. Oh, I guess that's the +1, +2, +4 is the stats. Oh, right, and that's what the passive thing is, right? Okay, yeah, I haven't really put two and two together with this until now. So, yeah, it's all pretty confusing the way this is kind of presented. But yeah, okay, so that's... I mean, I know it was described earlier, but again, it's all kind of out of context, so I didn't really kind of functionally understand it until now, I guess. 3 attack, 3 charge. So that would have been good to know also before, when kind of making some of these choices, I guess. Like the shield is always naturally going to be stronger, I guess. Doodle dash, gain, dodge, and roll both a shield and charge dice. So that's describing the special attack thing, I guess. So this is more living dangerously, I guess. He's got the +3 on the attack. Less on the shield. Less health, more charge. I don't know, the dog seems kind of better to me. I don't know how the specials stack up, but I'm gonna go ahead with the dog. I'll just try and play this just for a little bit. I'm guessing this is somewhat randomized. I don't know. Looks like we have a tent. I haven't seen that before. Oh, it's a shop. Welcome, agent. Do you need supplies? Oh, are the dice? I'm so used to clicking on the dice to like roll them that I'm kind of like, I thought this was this dice was associated with this item and this was associated with this, but I guess you can actually buy the dice, presumably. Wow. Okay. Takes 4. We actually don't have any currency at all. Oh, okay. So not only is this very slow, but if I want to look at the next thing, I have to like wait for that to go back before this one pops up. I'd rather it just popped up, or just popped up the next one that I click on immediately. And really slow transitions. Okay. Permanent poison. Poison doesn't decrease. Wow. That sounds pretty good. Okay, so very, very consistent dice and very inconsistent dice. Why would anyone want this to get screwed by RNG all the time? Oh my gosh. I mean, I could understand this kind of thing if you could swap out the dice like in the middle of battle, right? Because then you might end up in a situation where you just really need like a lucky break or something. It actually makes sense to play the odds. But if you can only do it before battle, then you're just going to be kind of screwing yourself over, because it's always going to be worse to choose something like this that's not only very inconsistent, but also like a poor, I guess a mathematical average. It's going to be a lot lower, I think. I'm actually not even sure what the mathematical average of the different things are going to be, but I don't think it makes sense to equip something like this before you even go into a battle. Because as far as I know, all of the different functions that you end up using are necessary, so it's not like you could just drop this on one that wasn't actually that important, but you could just try it once in a while. You know, it seems like all of the actions are really important, so it doesn't seem like this really makes sense. You know, this kind of dice. Let's go ahead and get out of here finally. We've got lots of treasure chests here. One, 3, 4, 6. Isn't that worse? We have a Dodge 2 chip and I don't know what it does. And I don't know how to check it. Yeah, I don't want to use this dice. I don't think. I don't care. I only care about the dice that the mathematical average works out to something higher, you know? I don't want to just shift the numbers around, that's not useful. Or make it less less predictable. That's actually a disadvantage if it's not reliable, even if it could theoretically, you know, you could get lucky, but over time it's going to average out, so it's not really sensible to choose something that you could get lucky on over something that you can at least predict will do consistent damage, because in that case you can make some choices where you can say, okay, I know that this is going to at least do enough to, you know, kill the guy or whatever, and that's more useful than unpredictable is. All the way up to 7. better than this one. Maybe I'll drop that here. Now is this one better than one of these? Okay, so you know what would be really helpful is if I could see my stats for the passive ones on this screen so that I could incorporate that information into these choices, because that matters a lot with how you choose these numbers. Because if I have like a passive +5 or something, that's going to mitigate, you know, the really bad options of getting 0 on some of these rolls, to some extent, I guess. I mean, that intuitively makes sense. But I don't have that information available to me here, so I have to kind of try to just take it from memory, you know, memorize it beforehand. And I don't know if those stats ever change or if it's just permanently like that for the character. I'm just gonna drop that one because it's inconsistent. Let's go ahead and fight this guy. There's no point in the screen, I don't think. So we've got dodge 2 on this bad boy. I don't know what the dodge does. That would be helpful. Repeated attacks give a gain a charge dice. Interesting. So this is kind of an attack-heavy character. But I still wonder about the shields, like how what is the intended way of progressing here? Because it told me before in one of the little blurbs that you should try not to lose HP because it's hard to get back. So in most games like this, you can get HP back pretty much, you know, pretty reliably. So it's more important to win the battle than it is to win the battle without taking damage, you know. So in those cases, doing a ton of damage is great because you can just kill the enemy and then they won't... You kill them before they kill you, you know, or even before they hurt you too badly. And then you can find other ways to get your HP back, and that's like a good option over playing more defensively. It's kind of like saying the best defense is a good offense, you know, that kind of thing. But if the idea is to like try not to ever take damage or take as little as possible, that really kind of throws a wrench into everything, because now it's like, if I have a really great attack, do I still need to rely on this? I don't know. Like, is this supremely important? Do I need to always shield? I don't know the answer to that question, so that's what makes me wonder a lot. Didn't I roll a 2 and a 1? If you roll the lucky number, does it just eat it for the fact that you get the second turn? It just doesn't contribute to the action? I don't know if that's the case. That's a question I would like answered. I guess this went down by 1? Why did the charge go down by 1 if I got 2 shield? Maybe, okay, so the lucky was from the 1 and the 2 was the passive, I guess. No, I only have +1 shield. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why I don't know why any of these numbers are what they are right now. Well, I have 2 shields, so I think I can survive 1 attack. I think it just negates... Or wait, no, does it roll over the shield? It might roll over the shield into your HP. We'll find out if this guy attacks me. Okay, so this is one of the skill things, I guess. I've never seen it before. Charge attack. Oof. Alright, yeah, so I think it rolled over my shield, but it did... Yeah, it did 2 damage. Okay, so that makes sense. So unfortunately, having any amount of shield doesn't just negate the whole attack. And I say unfortunately because that blurs the line even more between which one of these is going to be more useful, an attack or shield, because kind of mathematically the way it works out, it's just like adding a number that's just going to get subtracted, and when you just like add or subtract numbers in this really simplistic way, you don't really get good advantages choosing one option or the other. Everything becomes too simplistic, and then it becomes too alike. Whereas, I don't know if that makes sense the way I'm describing it. Whereas if I knew that I could at least get a benefit from having at least one shield, then I could say, okay, it's good to have a shield up. And make sure I have a shield up before I start attacking. You know, that kind of thing. At least I would have some kind of understanding of like a strategy to employ here and how to choose one of these over the other. Let's go ahead and attack, because I don't know. This is taking too long. I did a ton of damage. He's still at 1 though. Another skill. Ento Evasion. I don't know what that means. Dodging. He's going to avoid all damage for this turn. Interesting. Let's go ahead and use this opportunity to put some shields up. Not very much, because Doggy doesn't get much. Another ability. Charge attack. Just hit the shield. Okay. Smack him. I like the dog's sword. It's pretty cool. What does this do? Charge. Extra 3 battery. Interesting how the numbers are so specific. I guess. Charge in the charge one? No, I'll put it here. Because I think we end up using this more. Which is interesting to think about. So yeah, it's interesting how in the main game here I've encountered a couple of things that weren't actually never actually showed up in the tutorial. No, I don't want to go there. Alright, so that's annoying. If I'm just trying to navigate through here, I don't want to have to like wait for the screen transition and then have this guy, then his text box pop, and then click on the button to go out and then have it transition back into here just so I can click on the next square. That's pretty annoying. One thing you could do is have like a button pop up to ask you, like you click on the little button to actually enter the tent rather than it just doing it automatically. Gain 6 ghost jars immediately. What the heck? Okay. Now I have 7. Okay, can I unequip it? Does it? This is very weird. How do you? Can you not unequip it? Is it because I? Or maybe, maybe if you fill these slots, you can never put anything else in here again. I don't know. It's really weird that you would equip a module to get money into your money thing, I guess. So is the point of the game to defeat all the enemies? Because that was never explained. Like you would think that you would be presented with the win condition at some point. And you know, maybe some descriptions on what's going on in the overworld there. All right. So again, there's an extra thing here. Maybe this should just have a different icon or something, so it's not confusing. I don't know if this is worthwhile. I just have this idea ever since I mentioned that you're supposed to try not to take damage, and that kind of it really threw everything for a loop here, because it makes me think, oh, I should just use the shield all the time. And I guess if I never heard that, I would just think, oh, you should just attack all the time. I don't know. Jacko burn. Just hit the shield, okay. Oh, it did get burned. Did it dip into my HP pool? Or, oh, maybe it just applies the effect, but it doesn't actually make me lose HP unless I get attacked while I have this. Okay, that's a little counterintuitive, I guess. I don't know, I just want to use the big boy attack thing. I haven't gotten the dodge effect yet for some reason. I don't know, is it only on one side? I don't know what the chances... Okay, so I did get the dodge this time. I don't know what the chances are, though. So I'm getting the doggy bonus. I get the charge back. Dodge 2. Oh, I guess that's what it is, the 2. Right. I remember now. Oh, we got dodge again. Very lucky. So yeah, just spamming the attack is pretty good with the dog, but sometimes it isn't. I mean, the game is inherently quite RNG heavy, I think, with all the dice rolls. I don't know. I'm just always going for the chip. It just seems juicy. Maybe once I already have chips I want, then I'd prefer the ghost jar. I guess? What is that? So this is almost full, but my charge is low. So it's interesting how the numbers that you leave the previous battle with are what you enter the next battle with, because that introduces the idea that maybe, like, maybe you don't want to go into the next battle with a 0 charge or something. It's kind of weird because you don't really have the opportunity to affect this in any way between battles. So it's definitely weird. Like most... I don't know, I mean, it's presented sort of RPG-like, you know, with the turn-based battles the way that they are. Obviously with like a roguelike or whatever, you wouldn't just like refill this stuff every time you defeat an enemy, but I guess just the way this is presented, it kind of feels more like not so roguelike-like, I don't know. But yeah, in other games, it's just like you're just so focused on beating the enemy that you don't think about keeping this stuff charged up all of the time, you know? So it's a little weird when you just go into the next battle and it's like, oh, my charge is completely empty and stuff like that. That's funny. I poisoned him with the charge. Wait, whoa, what is going on? Okay, so use some ability. I guess the ability triggered him to roll a bunch of dice, and then maybe it was like... It looked like it only did 2 damage, so I'm guessing it was like it chose the highest number among all the dice or something. It's all completely reasonable, except none of it was explained what actually was happening, so... It's quite weird when the enemy just starts doing all this stuff and you don't actually know what any of it is. Looks like we have special doodle dash. Let's go ahead and try it then. Now this is where we get the charge. And we get the burn effect. And we get the shield. Wow. 6 burning, is that 6 turns? Slap him. Alright. Oof, what does this even do? Enemy takes 2 damage when you gain battery. Ah. So like, presumably you'd want that on the charge, right? Or would the effect come into play before the charge numbers were applied? It's interesting. I mean, this should be really good on this character because he has the passive ability with attacking repeatedly. So it's actually a bit annoying that I have to choose, but I have to choose this. I need some more information before I make this decision on whether I want this or the ghost bottle. But I don't really have a means to get all the information I need in that screen there. Dodge 2, charge 2, chip. I also don't have the passive values again. So the dodge seems a bit too good on the attack because it just negates so much damage. That means I can keep using the attack. It wouldn't really make sense to have dodge on this because the shields are reduced passively over time. So I don't really want to stack those 2 defensive options. And I could put this on here, but that would mean that I would have to use this in order to trigger this. So what I'm thinking is that if I put it on here, I'd be more likely to use this to trigger this and then have this up more often. But that also means I'm going to be getting less because I'm getting right into this. I mean, I could put this here, I guess, but actually, you know, I guess this kind of makes sense because if I put this one here, then in theory, if I could trigger this, then if I ended up using this, oh well, no, I think that this only triggers, excuse me. I don't know how frequently this triggers. Like, I don't know if this extra effect would trigger that in addition to this. It would trigger this twice. I don't actually know. Yeah, so this is kind of hard, but like interesting decisions, but I don't understand enough about how they work to really know what I'm doing, I guess. Party potion. On potion, use heal 50% more HP. Oh, so now we have the paw. So if I throw this away, I want to know if I throw that away if I lose the ghost jars. Because I don't think it makes sense that you would. Because you'd have to be able to spend them. And then presumably unequip it without going into negatives. Okay, I don't think I lost them, so that's a really peculiar concept. Equipping that as a module like that. Charging over max battery inflicts static. Wow. Interesting. We'll see if we can make that happen. I don't know, can you stack static on top of itself and get better static? I don't know. Okay, we got another dice. Oof. I guess the average is technically higher than this. I guess you just add up all the numbers, and the bigger numbers is the higher average, right? So this one would be what? 9 and 4 is 13, and this would be 6 and 10 is 16. So yeah, that's significantly better. Oh, but it would suck if you had to charge. Oh no. I mean, it's a better dice, but the idea of getting really low charge, I think it's just. Wait, he has what, 2 + 2 on his charge? I still don't remember. I wish I could see the stats of the character. I think it's like +2 on charge. But even so, you don't want to get like super low, I guess. You get unlucky. I'll go with this. Battle the Beedrill. I know this video's dragging on. It's getting pretty long here. Pretty darn long video. Yeah, I mean, once you start figuring this stuff out, the game is... It's definitely engaging to some degree. I mean, that sounds awful to say. I mean, you know, there's stuff that I think is getting in the way of the enjoyment, but I think the bones of it are actually really good. So, you know, it's enough to keep my attention for a while I'm playtesting this. It's just definitely a good concept, I think. The pacing is pretty slow. I mean, obviously I'm yammering the whole time, so the video is always going to be longer than casual play, but even so, the pacing feels slow to me in general, but I think the concept's really solid, so. So I was thinking about leading with this anyways. Apparently if we overcharge, it's also good now. Ooh, pretty good. I got 3 more. So he's getting dodge. Let's try charging. Oh no, I got the 0, but I got the charge bonus from it. Which is pretty cool. Oh, wait, whoa, wait. When did my HP get this low? Wait, what happened? How much damage did he just do? Yeah, I mean, some of this feedback is throwing me for a loop, because like all of a sudden I'm like, what even just happened just there? And I'm pretty sure it told me, but something about the way it told me didn't stick in my mind. So I'm like, what's going on? Why do I only have 1 HP? Did he just do like 20 damage, or was I don't remember taking damage before. Or was I just ignoring it? I don't know what's going on anymore. That's not good. What do I do? Just shield, I guess? Because he's like absolutely gonna whack me the next time. Now I got 3 static. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. Lose 2 HP when you gain battery. I completely misinterpreted this, didn't I? Ah, shoot. I thought that this would make the enemy lose 2 HP when I gain battery. But now I'm pretty sure the enemy loses 2 HP when they gain battery, which is completely different. And also probably a lot less interesting than what I was thinking. Oh, that's disappointing. So I thought I could abuse all of these cool charge mechanics to do extra damage. Which, yeah, in my opinion, that would have been a lot more interesting than what this is. So I guess I just completely misinterpreted that when I read it. I'm wondering what the wording was. I still can't look at that reference thing without finishing the battle, right? I only have 2 shield. Haven't even heard him yet. I did get the lucky, which is helpful, but what am I gonna do? Oh my gosh. I don't think there's anything I can do because unless I get like a massive shield and get... I guess I just have to keep going for shield because I can't afford to take 1 hit now. And just hope for some kind of an opening. Oh my gosh, this isn't going anywhere. I have no idea where I lost all this HP. I mean, eventually he's got to start charging his battery up again, right? And he's going to lose HP, right? That actually could be a strat. If I just spam this endlessly, he's always going to have static. And he's going to lose HP eventually, right? Or... does he even have battery? I'm so confused now. Because now that I think about it, they only roll dice to perform their actions. They don't have a charge. I've never seen them charge, right? So I think they don't even have a battery. So was it what I was thinking of before? I have to keep doing this. I got lucky. Just trying to not die. Oh no, it's gonna go down by 2. Oh gosh, even getting lucky and spamming the shield. I can't get this up high enough. Okay, so... maybe theoretically this is winnable. This is going lower, I think. And I need to get out of the battle to use the potion, right? This does give me dodge, so in theory I could get really lucky with that, but let's... yeah, okay. So this is gonna wipe me out. Yeah, that was not likely to go any other way. The end of the demo, only the beginning for the Spook Squad. Explore the forest, the towers, halls, and attic. New enemies, more events. Halls will be even tougher. 2 more characters join Finn and Dottie. Characters come with their own passive dice, animal power, trio of dice and special, a new way to play. More status effects, dice, and modules. Find chips with bonus abilities, use ghost jars to upgrade dice, and increase passive stats after bosses. Alright, so okay. This demo has been addressing lots of the feedback I've gotten for usability and clarity of information. I apologize if my video doesn't reflect what you were hoping for with your efforts, but it is completely honest in terms of what I think in what is and isn't confusing to me and what I think could be better. In the description below, I've got a Google survey form to ask what you think about this demo, see if it's going in the right direction, or just slap it in a comment. the how doesn't matter. I'd love to hear from you. Alan, we've got some credits down here. All right. So yeah, I don't know if that was user error with completely missing what happened to my HP while I was playing. That was quite bizarre. I thought I was sitting pretty, and then like I was 1 HP all of a sudden. It was really weird. But yeah, so the overall game, there's definitely some really good concepts in here, some engaging stuff. But there's definitely a lot of room for improvement too, I think. So hopefully there's some stuff to point you in the right direction there in this video. Apologize for how long it is, but it's usually a good sign if I make a longer video, because that probably means I didn't get sick of your game as quickly or something, but I don't know. Yeah, hopefully the video is useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope to see you in the next one.